This is my PC setup, and there's a couple things that I want to not only talk about, discuss, but also the fact of kind of explain to you guys my whole reason behind what I'm about to say. Firstly, PC gaming, I think, is always going to be one of those things where it's going to be the most elite of the elite, and I only say that because really the consoles, yes, they are getting better, but they're gonna not be able to be as good as a PC. And what I mean by that is because a PC can really just do about everything that you can think about, and a console just doesn't really have that capability, at least yet. But matter of fact, today actually is not going to be a video about this PC setup because it hasn't really changed much since the last time I did it. It's actually going to be about these keyboards, and don't mind the coffee, I've got to drink it too. So today, again, I want to go over not the PC setup that I have, but actually mice and keyboards. So the one thing that I think a lot of people still try and do when they get a PC is try and become a mouse and keyboard player. But really, it's about the pricing of a mouse and keyboard versus getting like a controller. Whether it's a $60 controller or a SCUFF controller being like $250. And I want to discuss this entire thing because 2-3 years ago, you guys may have seen, if you're super PC enthusiasts, you really may have seen the market just go like this and then like this recently. GPUs, for instance, as a 30 series, when they first came out, there was some good technology in there, but it wasn't too much different from what I have, which is a 2070. And yes, that may be somewhat of a big deal there, but it's actually more the pricing. Back when the 30 series first came out, you couldn't get a GPU for less than $1,400. Nowadays, you can get a 40 series for $700. The market's really come down, but this is also the thing of when you go for a mouse and keyboard, it's the exact same difference. I can't necessarily say the same thing for controllers, but this is where I want to go to Best Buy, because it's the closest thing around me. I don't have a Micro Center or any of those fancy gizmo places around me, at least, that are super close. So we're gonna go to Best Buy, see exactly how much the market has influenced the keyboard and mouse generation versus controllers. So we'll see. And yes, believe it or not, I've actually strongly considered on just switching to a SCUFF controller, even though it's like $250. It seems like the best and most reasonable thing nowadays. And we will get into that reason very, very shortly. Come on, there we go. Awesome. So, for those of you who don't know, I have a Model O wireless mouse as well as a Royal K clutch or K1 clutch, whatever that keyboard is. And I want to say both of those combined is about roughly $150, $170 max. And although that is obviously significantly cheaper than going with like a SCUFF controller, which that's what I would pretty much go with, because I'm just bougie and I want to review things for you guys that I'm sure most of you would love to have. It's just one of those things where I personally, in my mind, I feel like it's not practical to have a mouse and keyboard anymore. But also want to mention, you still need a mouse and keyboard, especially if you're going to run a PC. A PC realistically can't just run on a controller. So the basis of this video is to make you guys understand that you don't need the most expensive keyboard and mouse anymore. It's just not worth it. But enough ranting. Let's go to Best Buy, see how much their stuff is, and maybe we'll pick something up, or if it's a good price, if the specs are good, we'll see. All the brands you can think of. Oh my god, they have a SCUFF. Holy crap. How much is it? Oh my god, $179? You got a gaming mouse, Viper V2 Pro, 130. Death Pro, 145. About to say Pro. It's crazy to me that in order to get a really decent mouse, you're spending at least $130. Maybe I'm cheap, but an average consumer POV, that's outrageous. And obviously there's way more expensive ones out there. M75 Air by Corsair. That's the cheapest one, $100. Oh my god, and the keyboard's $280? Bruh, I guess this is the only 60% keyboard they got now. They call it a mini now. Wow. Nobody really carries 60%ers anymore. That's so sad. They're all full keyboards. That's a 60%, sort of. Okay, well, is a mouse and keyboard really worth it? I want to say no. And that's just primarily because of how expensive they are individually. Like, you guys saw a good mouse. And what I mean by good mouse is that you can tell it by the milliseconds response time, the click rate, everything that a mouse would include in specs. You can definitely tell in the more expensive ones and the cheaper ones that I have, which is the Model O wireless. So we're gonna go right back home, discuss everything once more and actually give a full in-depth review on all that stuff, and then pretty much maybe go ahead and buy a SCUFF. I'm not sure, but it won't be in this video. I'm home, but I want to tell you guys, if you are PC enthusiasts, mouse and keyboard enthusiasts, then getting the most expensive one may actually be more beneficial to you than actually just being on a budget and saving money like myself. Because for the average person, a Model O, or let alone the keyboard and mouse that I have right here, would be perfect. But to the actual like professional that would notice the most microscopic details or specs, then you'd notice like it's important to get something that's going to be of great quality, and there's a reason for those prices. Now what you guys saw in the Logitech is that one Logitech was like a Logitech X Pro. That thing weighed 80 grams. For 30 bucks more, you could get one that was less than 63 grams. Would that be worth it? It's hard to say. Again, you'd have to be a pro. You'd have to really be an enthusiast to be like,
yep, I feel a difference. It improves my gaming, it improves my overall love on mouse and keyboard.
You guys saw those keyboards, which I'm so surprised about, that nobody really loves 60% keyboards anymore. Now, tech centers obviously that are main for gaming, they probably would have it, or at least a lot more selection, but Best Buy specifically, crazy to think that I guess not a lot of people like 60%ers anymore. But a SCUFF, guys. So I'm a little uneducated with SCUFF because I've obviously never played controller, never had one, and let me tell you this. So instead of 250 bucks, you can actually spec one out. It's a SCUFF Infinity 4S Pro, and I'll put this on the screen as well, that way I'm not just reading this out. A shell, I get obviously the soft touch black. There's nothing special about this one. Trigger systems, I got the Pro Digital tap triggers. The bumpers, I got the Pro Digital tap bumpers. Left thumbstick, it's just the concave version. Right stick is concaved as well. The rings is a Pro ring, it's black. Control disc is a PS4 control, and I didn't sign up for that one. The button kit is a 4PS Pro button kit. It is standard. Grips, I went with the high performance grip. Rumbles are in, so basically like the vibrations. Paddles, I went with the Pro reactive black paddles. And then a standard option package. And then obviously the controller base is just a Pro controller base. And it's 217 bucks. But besides mouse and keyboards, a PC, no matter what year, and no matter what technology comes in a console, a PC will always be the most elite piece of technology any gamer or any PC enthusiast would ever want. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Love you guys. I appreciate all the support recently. And yeah, guys, this is the difference between a mouse and keyboard and going with the SCUFF controller or a controller in general in 2024.